Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. I'm one of the HCS commentators, and we have another HCS Weekly Report where today we're going to be talking about the professional teams getting back to work, wasting no time whatsoever after Orlando, leading up into Worlds, which seems like it's literally right around the corner. On top of that, these pro teams, especially the top pro teams, they are no longer playing with their food. They are coming in determined. Fire in their eyes, passion, leaving it all on the line because they know what's on the line going into Worlds. And you're going to see that in some of these Scrim results. Guys, like this kind of content, make sure you go down below in the comments, hit that sub button, some over here, follow me on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, use code YNOT on G Fuel and all that other streaming and content creation stuff. Yeah, do it. Give me your money. All right. Let's start off. We're going to start off on September 30th. Just 4 days ago, like a week after Orlando, G1 and G2 immediately go at it. And like we said, these guys are not wasting any time whatsoever. G1 have been so hot, and G2 have been doing their thing as well. But in scrims, G1 absolutely dominating G2, despite the fact that they're running with Barcode, and Barcode is still here in America, just showing that G2 are still trying to put in the practice. They're still trying to figure things out. They've had very limited practice since Barcode has been in Japan, Australia, but now he is here, and G1 welcoming him to the US. Want to talk about some of the slays here. Obviously, Barcode really showing out 250 kills, 97 assists. Meanwhile, the rest of his team in the triple-digit assist. Well, in the triple digits is Gilkey. Love to see that. Damage done, 76,000 damage out of Barcode, 73,000 out of Sab, not bad whatsoever. Other side of things, we have Devonator and Swish going at it. Swish beating him out in the assist category, love that. 83,000 damage out of him, but if you take a look, 81,000 out of Boo Boo Doo Boo, that's actually pretty damn good damage, and for him to stay alive as long as he did, Boo Boo Doo Boo absolutely doing his thing. And I want to talk a little bit about the matchup here. So G2 were able to win oddball on streets. No surprise there. They're a very good oddball team. And I would say a decent performance there. Only winning out by 1 on Live Fire King of the Hill over G1. G1 obviously dominating the rest, especially at Capture the Flag 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. So G1, we already knew they were an amazing Capture the Flag team. But to be able to dominate a team like G2 were obviously well coordinated and able to slow the game down and still winning by a 4-cap lead on all 3 of the Capture the Flag. So it's quite impressive. G1 showing that they're ready to contend for the top 4 and ready to pull off some upsets in Worlds. Day afterwards, FaZe able to go the distance with Oxygen Esports, right? Well, I shouldn't say going the distance. I don't know why it's showing a missing player. King Nick was present and was scrimming and has been scrimming. I'm not sure why that is. Oxygen Esports still running with Collect. About a week before the event, they brought in Collect. Chris Common ended up going to Proton Gaming, joining his former teammate in Haynes, and they actually did phenomenal. I think they played really well, but so did Oxygen Esports, able to secure a top 8 performance over in Orlando. Not enough to stop FaZe, because again, like we said, these top teams, they're coming in, they're not playing with their food. They're coming in determined, and a 9-2 dominant win in favor of FaZe. I want to see how close it was. First, we'll look at the stats here. It was Collect really showing out with 227 kills, 61,000 damage. Nemesis not too far behind. Renegade obviously reasserting himself as the main slayer of the crew, 255 kills, 109 assists to go along with it, and almost 70,000 damage himself. 70,000 damage in 11 games. I feel like I play about 30 games a day and don't hit 70,000 damage. Absolutely ridiculous. And let's find out the 2 games that Oxygen Esports were able to win. King of the Hill Live Fire, oddball on streets, which is actually fun. I think that was actually very similar to, I think it was actually the same as what G2 ended up winning on G1. So something strange about these 2 map and game type combinations. But big ups to for Oxygen Esports for even taking 2 wins off of FaZe. If FaZe are the team that we thought they were when we first got whiff of them coming together, they should be contending for championships. And although I think obviously Collect is a phenomenal player, a future champion, I think Nemesis is absolutely insane, by the way. I love what Triton's consistency that he brings to this team. I just think that if FaZe are legitimately contending for the #1 spot in Worlds or Grand Finals, they should be looking dominant over even Oxygen Esports. But big for Oxygen to get 2 wins on them and even keep things, fairly close for the most part. Like Recharge, King of the Hill, only losing out by 1 to Oxygen Esports, not bad whatsoever. Even that Live Fire Oddball, very close. Some of the other games, Catalyst only losing by 1. So some of these games, 1 or 2 mistakes could have gone their way, and maybe we see Oxygen pull off 4 or even 5 wins out of this 11-game performance. G1 over Oxygen Esports again. Oxygen, just, hey, they're putting in the work, but they're getting a little bit worked. FaZe and G1, they're ready. They're ready to take that next step. And it's funny, it's really funny to see this because, G1 and G2, I believe they both got a top 6 finish at Orlando. So to see that level of dominance in one area, and then Oxygen Esports getting top 8, by the way, so just 1 round away from G1. It lets you know, like, once you hit that threshold, things start to ramp up. Once you get to that top 6, the upper echelon of teams, whew, it gets tough. It gets tough. G1 13-3'd Oxygen Esports in these scrims. Sorry, my internet running a little slow. There we go. I got it. Looking at Squale, 281 kills. Okay, Squale always having a very decent accuracy. I see him 56.3. The man just simply doesn't miss shots, and he's really tough to deal with. 153 assists to go along with it is not bad whatsoever. Right behind them is Boo Boo Dubu, 274 with 151 assists, almost 80,000 damage out of 3 different players going into this matchup. On the other side, you had Collect once again showing off in the Slays department, the consistency of Triton. He's always up there. Formerly that main Slayer, but now really taking a secondary Slayer role now that Collect is joining them, Big performance by them as far as in the kills department. Sadly, it wasn't able to translate into wins. I mean, you're talking about getting 13-3'd, and you led in slays in the entire lobby. That's quite impressive if you ask me. You're able to get 3 wins, one of them being on Bizarre CTF, Oxygen Esports, one of them being on Recharge Slayer, 50-40, not a bad win whatsoever, and then another Slayer, 50-34 over G1. So it kind of tells me, I'm not sure if it's telling me that if Oxygen Esports are a really good Slayer team, or maybe G1 just aren't fans of Slayer. I will say on Slayer Streets, G1 absolutely dumpstered on. Oh, good God. But Oxygen Esports really showing that they can win Slayers, and when games go to game 5 in a series and you have to clutch it out in that game 5, it's always going to be on a Slayer. So things are looking at least somewhat good for Oxygen Esports if they're able to keep things close, making it to a game 5. The rest of the performance obviously going in favor of G1. Sentinels versus the Strong Survive. Y'all know I love me some Ace. Y'all know I'm big on Mortal. I've been talking about he's next up for quite a bit. Super CC of AIDS. I've been on him since Halo 5, and I was just starting to get whiff of Huss a little bit after his stint with Torn, when I really started to pay attention to his gameplay and keep my eyes on him. I like this TSS squad. I don't like this goose egg column. But I mean, come on. You're going up against Sentinels. And I can only imagine an even more motivated Sentinels. Sentinels not making the grand finals on LAN. We've been talking about Sentinels being that top tier LAN team and not making the grand finals. A newly motivated Sentinels going up against TSS in a 13-0 shutout. Good God. 267 kills, 114 assists out of Royal 2. Not bad whatsoever. Right behind them was Frosty, 242, 108 assists to go along with it. Frosty and Royal 2. That's where your firepower is really going to come from in that Slays department. And then you have Snakebite coming in, because it's so funny because you want to focus your attention on Royal 2 and Frosty, but if you don't put your eyes on Snakebite, he'll put them fangs in you, and then you're really in trouble, because Snakebite is a very capable Slayer and a very aggressive play style. Is really one of the ways he opens up the map for World 2 to kind of, you know, bait and switch out from afar and clean up all the kills based on the damage that Snakebite puts in. I mean, 62,000 damage, that's your entry fragger is Snakebite, while also being a co-IGL and sometimes the main IGL for this team, it seems like. Lethal obviously making game-winning plays. I've been very impressed with the way he's been playing, his ability to big brain play, control the spawns, make sure that when he's dropping the objective at the right time, putting down damage, going right back to the objective time, when rotating when he needs to, playing the ball when he needs to. We talk about it all the time on Oddball. If that ball goes down and it's not played, it is your fault that the other team is getting points. I think Hunter JGX said it multiple times. Every single second that goes in favor of the enemy team, that you didn't rotate that ball, that you didn't play it off the map, that you didn't keep it out of your opponent's hands, it is your fault. Does Lethal make the prettiest of plays? No. But when you're watching the eyeball test, especially recently, you're seeing the impact that he's having on the game. Morley 201 wins. Wait, that's 201 kills. 201 wins. Oh my gosh, God bless. 201 kills, 98 assists to go along with it. Not bad out of him. 179 apiece out of Ace and Huss. Love to see that. And there was a 50-49 win in Sentinels, so one kill away from taking that game. Only an 8-kill game there, not too bad. Only winning by 1 to Sentinels on Live Fire, King of the Hill. I'm starting to notice. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I'm starting to notice that with King of the Hill, it's barely going to that 4. I've been noticing a bit of a pattern where almost like Streets, where Streets never goes to the 4 cap, it looks like Live Fire is starting to do the same. Sentinels, they would have put 4 caps on the board, and Bizarre CTF, that's big, only winning by 1. So TSS are very much in a lot of these games. Sadly, it's still Sentinels that come out with the win. Finally, FaZe going up against Native Red, a 15-2 performance, and of course King did come back. I don't know why he was missing out of the other scrim, but he was obviously playing and doing his thing. We'll start off with FaZe, 373 kills, 149 assists out of Renegade. He is the main Slayer on this group. I know I call Falcated one of the main Slayers. I consistently talk about Falcated being underrated, but Renegade is a freaking Slayer, bro. Luckily, he has Falcated whenever things start to slip in the stats department. Falcated obviously able to pick up the pieces, but also a very good overall player. 102,000 damage. I just peeped that. Good God. 102,000 damage. Oh my gosh. 299 kills out of Druk. Not bad whatsoever. Not enough to get more than 2 wins on the FaZe roster. We're going to see what they won. King of the Hill on Streets. Okay, Native Red. And Slayer Catalyst. I will say I'm more surprised they won out on Slayer Catalyst, because Native Red doesn't strike me as a very good Catalyst team. They're not the best Slayer team. If anything, I would thought their wins would come from either Strongholds, which is one of their stronger game types, or maybe like a Capture the Flag. King of the Hill doesn't surprise me too much, because I think it plays somewhat similar to Strongholds, even though I would think they'd be a better Strongholds team than King of the Hill. But a 4-0 shutout in favor of Native Red, not bad whatsoever. Able to keep things somewhat close in that Stronghold. Only losing out by 2 in Slayers, so Native Red really showing they can hold their own in Slays, winning out by 2, only losing by 2, so a couple mistakes go their way, they could change things around. Only losing by 1 on Catalyst Capture the Flag, so maybe they're a better Catalyst team than I had predicted. Native Red, keeping things close against FaZe, still only able to get 2 wins. FaZe with the 15 wins over Native Red. And by the way, this was literally just yesterday. Again, like we said, these pro teams are getting back to work. They're doing what they need to do in order to get ready for Worlds. It's around the corner, guys. I cannot wait. This was your HCS Weekly Report. Love making these videos. Sorry to make any over the weekend. Like I said, it really wasn't much content to go over. And last thing I want to do is force these kinds of things. I'm hoping that I can get some guests coming in, so maybe we can incorporate some interviews and even some film review as well on the streams. But I'm still working on it, so give me some time. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream or stopping by the by the YouTube. Really do appreciate it. We record these live on Twitch, twitch.tv/YNOT_B_casting. And give me some ideas down below in the comments on what kind of videos you would like to see me do that can really fall along the lines of the HCS Weekly Report. Thank you guys so much.